We have to watch debt rising in 4 different places: household, corporations, state and local, and federal. They're all on their way up. And here's why. Household debt rises along, and corporates, as they try to borrow to replace lost income. State and local governments, they borrow to replace lost tax revenue. The federal government, well, they're borrowing to replace all the lost revenue of the other 3 categories, as well as try to stimulate the economy in other ways. Take a look first at the rise in corporate debt. Corporations have been on an absolute borrowing binge here. You can see this is from intelligence. What they did is they compared since the pandemic was declared by the WHO through the 27th of April, compared with the same time last year, $265 billion of corporate debt compared to $108 billion in the same time in 2019. Part of that because the Fed has stepped forward with a program in which it will be purchasing certain corporate debt, investment grade, and some fallen angels and some not fallen angels. All of this has a dramatic effect on the federal government debt as a percent of GDP, as Congress has now issued $2.6 trillion of new spending. The debt to GDP ratio will rise from 4.6%, according to the CBO, to nearly 18% in 2020 before falling back down just to below 10% in 2021. So, Kelly, lots of borrowing and lots of payback to do down the road.
Yeah, and it's ironic, Steve, because the government borrowing is really a way of offsetting the loss of business kind of investment and spending that is happening because they're loading up with debt so that they can raise cash to get through the crisis. You know what I mean? Like, they tend to kind of, both of these debt piles are growing together, and that's probably the only way we can keep GDP from shrinking massively as a result.
That's absolutely right. Olivia Blanchard, the IMF former economist, calculated that we, in the last crisis, had underestimated the effect of government spending in a crisis, that it has a bigger multiplier effect. Larry Summers, the former Treasury Secretary, ran some simulations and said without government spending, deficits would actually be larger over time because of the fall in the economy and the ensuing decline in tax revenue.